Hey everybody, Boast here, and I'd like to welcome you to a new series that I like to call Civilization 6 in 6 minutes, where I break down all of the different victory types in 6 minutes or less. Now, obviously, this video is a little longer than 6 minutes because I'm explaining the series. But with that being said, we're going to be going over Domination today. I consider that probably my best victory type, my best victory condition. It's what I'm most experienced with. And we are playing, assuming that we are playing on Deity, which is what I play on. So this will hopefully help you win on Deity with Domination, give you the main ideas for Deity Domination games as well. As always, if you do not know, I stream Deity Civilization 6 on twitch.tv/boesthius. And I mean, you're obviously watching on YouTube, so if you aren't familiar with me, you'll find all of my playthroughs edited on this channel, as you can see right here. But regardless, this is going to be a Domination tutorial. We're playing with Simon Bolivar. This is a really fast Simon Bolivar game, playing with 8 civs on a standard speed, or standard size map with standard speed. It was a sub 200. I know Simon Bolivar is a little crazy, but I felt like it was a good way to showcase how, I guess, easy Domination can be if you know all the different timings and know how to play it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in, and hopefully we can break it down for you. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about here is timings, and timings in general. Now, in regards to Domination, that is getting specific timings with your research, tech, units, government, etc., to hit at the same time. The main three in the beginning of the game are getting your great generals around the same time you are getting swordsmen, as well as getting oligarchy at the same time. This allows you to kind of take over the deficit that you have from playing behind on Deity, with the AI getting extra experience and combat strength throughout the rest of the game. With this, you should be rushing bronze working, maybe not like immediately as your first tech, but going mining and then maybe into getting bronze working till it could be boosted, and then working on something else, killing barbarians so you can boost bronze working. But your encampment should be your first district placed down. For me, this game is a little bit different. I went Holy Site, but in general, your encampment should be the first district you place down, so that way you can start accumulating great general points immediately. Now, with that, once you hit oligarchy, you should be able to be getting your great general out right around that time, maybe a couple turns later, but it'll be around that time. And you also should be getting swordsmen around that time. Now, with this, I hit swordsman right as I'm declaring war on Cyrus, because I just saw that he had a settler out in the middle of nowhere, so I capitalized on that and stole a settler from him. But with that, moving on from timings, that we can talk about military. Now, with your military, for me, I generally actually keep a pretty small military the entire game. I usually start off with 3 to 4 archers, and then around 2 to 3 swordsmen, and then a battering ram if needed. But for the most part, in the classical era war, that's all you really need. A big mistake that I see happen a lot with a lot of people who are asking for advice for starting to do Domination on Deity is they consistently just build army the entire game, and what you really want to do is just make sure your first core army stays alive and then supplement it as the game goes on. But mostly, once you have your first core army, then you just spend the rest of your time with your cities building infrastructure, things along those lines. With your military, like I said, you'll only want a couple archers and swordsmen, and then as the game goes on, once you research men-at-arms, you get men-at-arms, then you'll get musketmen, move on to line infantry, so on and so forth through the game. But with that, you generally don't want to have a huge army, just enough that way you can snipe a city, take it, and then move on, maybe defend yourself if needed. But keeping the core army alive throughout the whole game allows you to really kind of destroy the AI, because you'll have double shot archers, that move into crossbowmen, maybe having swordsmen that don't have the penalties attacking across water, things along those lines. And if you have tanks, that are fully upgraded, and artillery that have +1 range, near the end of the game, you really don't need a huge army to destroy the AI. Now, outside of your actual army, there are going to be things that you will really need to utilize, and there are a few of them. Policy cards are one of them, as well as governors. I generally still go a Pingala into Victor, because Victor allows you to get the combat strength, but additionally allows you to keep loyalty in cities, which will be an issue in your classical era wars. Additionally, utilizing policy cards correctly. If you're having trouble with loyalty, make sure you put in ones like Limitine and Praetorium, as they allow you to keep your cities loyal. Additionally, running cards like Agoye, so that way you can pop out units very fast if needed, as well as Limes, which allows you to get walls up if you need to defend. I see people running cards that have nothing to do with what they're trying to do, You know, for example, running like Gothic architecture when they're not, you know, building any wonders and stuff like that. So making sure you're utilizing, you know, policy cards as well as governors throughout the game really help you, especially in the early game when you're trying, you know, every single bit of production and culture, you know, science gold helps. Now, from here on out, all you really need to do is just keep up with the AI. Since you have a core army, you don't really need to continue to build your armies. So what you can do is start to build up your infrastructure, such as building campuses. That way you can keep up with tech. Commercial hubs, you'll need to use your commercial hubs to pay for unit upgrades, as well as keeping up with maintenance. Maybe holy sites if you need to get heroes out if you're playing with heroes and legends. As well as maybe a theater square or two. That way you can keep your culture going. But for the most part, as long as you keep up with your campuses and your commercial hubs, you will really have no problem steamrolling over the AI. Once you kill your first one, you hop over to the second one, do the same thing, maybe wait a few turns, upgrade your units, and then kill the AI from there. Now, from here, once you get to a certain point, you're either going to have to choose one or two paths. You can either go top tree and build bombers and leapfrog airstrips with bombers and kill the AI, or what I generally like doing is going bottom tree, since it's a little bit easier, is getting tanks as well as artillery and killing the AI at that point. When it comes to this point of the game, having two artillery with +1 range really makes a whole lot of difference, and that allows you to just melt through Renaissance walls, especially with tanks, fully upgraded tanks, which if you have been keeping them alive through the entire game, you should have fully upgraded tanks. Upgrading them into maybe only building new units to upgrade them into cores and or armies as the time goes on. So from here, it's pretty self-explanatory. You kill a civ, repair a district, take your units, heal them, move on to the next civ, and take all their capitals. That's really all there is to say about that. In conclusion, with this classical era war setup, there's really a few things that all you really have to do. Making sure you hit your timing in the early era in order to hit the AI before they get crossbowmen. Making sure you have your core military alive through the entire game. Utilizing policy cards to get all of the maximum benefits that you can. Keeping up with the AI while you transition through your eras, and just kill the AI. Overall, like I said, it is pretty simple, but I know people struggle with it a lot, especially once it gets to Deity, so eventually I will have a full-fledged Domination tutorial, but for now, this is Civilization 6 in 6 minutes. We went a little over 6 minutes because it's the first time I'm doing this, but I hope this helps, and if you have any further questions, please leave them in the comments below. All right, well, there it is. That is Civilization 6 in 6 minutes for Domination. I hope that you guys were able to at least take something away from it and be able to apply it to your Deity games. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just really, you know, take your first civ, take your main army from your first civ, and, you know, kill the rest of them with that main army while you build infrastructure in the background. So I hope that helped. If you have any further questions, or if there's any things that you maybe feel lost on, feel free to leave comments in the comment section down below. You can also join my Discord as well, and hang out there. There's a lot of people that, aside from myself, that play on Deity that probably know the game better than me. So you can leave some questions there as well. Additionally, I do stream every Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 4 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/boesthius. So I hope you catch me there, where I stream Civilization 6 Deity, and we play everything from culture to domination to science to religion, etc. And sometimes I play other games than Civ, but mostly it's Civ right now. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Bye!